Real estate agents, stop letting real estate run your life. I get it, guys. I'm an agent too. I have been for 11 years, and I understand that we all fall into this same trap. The industry lie that success only equals more closings, longer hours, constant hustle. And I get it. These common frustrations that we all feel, missing family time. We're never truly off, right? We're always chasing the next deal. If I see one more agent on vacation posting about them writing an offer, sitting on the beach, being proud of themselves, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's not going to be good. Here's the reality. We fall into this trap. What does your family want? They don't want you to be out there hustling more. They want you to be present right where you are. At the end of your life, it's not going to say how many deals you did on your headstone, what your GCI was, what your volume was. It's hopefully going to say follower of Jesus, loving husband, loving wife, great dad, great mom, great grandparent, great grandmother, or whatever. Look, I understand you're not lazy or broken. It's the system that you've been handed. It's unsustainable. When I say, what does success mean to you? When I ask any average real estate agent, what is success? They're going to say, well, they sell a lot of homes. They make a lot of money, right? Maybe they drive a nice car, whatever it is. But that's a lie. Now, maybe that's true. But I remember an agent in my market, I'm not going to say the name, but I remember an agent in my market was getting awarded with the #1 agent at Realtor Prom. People coming up, cheering for him, taking selfies with him, posting about how great of a year he had. But it was well known that not only was he the #1 agent that year, he had lost his marriage. He was no longer talking to one of his kids. So maybe he won the award and he was selling all the homes, but he was going home to an empty house. Is that success? So how do we stop letting real estate run our lives? Number one, we've just got to realize there's a problem with the definition of success, not just for us as believers, but for the industry as a whole. Okay, number two, we need to reframe success. We need to define, what do we actually want? So how do we stop letting real estate run our lives? We got to actually know what we're aiming for, so we don't just fall prey to whatever it is that they tell us to go for, right? What's the point of building a business if it costs you your life outside of it? That doesn't make sense. We've got to step back. We've got to clarify values. We've got to look and say, what is it that the Lord desires for me, right? Maybe you're that stay-at-home mom who homeschools her kids, who also sells 5 to 10 homes on the side because that's what you have time for. And even though the industry keeps telling you you could do more, you need to go sell more homes, you step back and you say, okay, hold on. Let me talk to the Lord. Let me talk to my husband, and let's figure out what makes sense for me. And when you say it's 5 homes, because that's what you can do while you keep your feet right where you want them to be, homeschooling the kids, at home with them, serving in your church, whatever the scenario is, you seek to find joy and contentment right there. Right? The problem is, whatever your scenario, maybe it's that you're the husband who is working so many hours and you keep saying, I'm doing this for my family. But what does your family want? They don't want the extra lake house. They don't need the bigger, nicer car. They need daddy at home. Figure out, why am I doing this? You all have heard my story when I created this idea of the scoreboard, right? How do I actually keep score for myself? Well, I had a team. We were doing really well. I had figured out a way how to double my income, but the only problem was it was going to cost me an extra 20 hours a week. We had 3 kids at the time. Now we have 5. And I remember thinking right then in that moment, looking back on the man, 5 years from now, if I could look back on you right here in this moment, that was in 2022, who would you be most proud of? The guy who spent more time at work, less time at home, but doubled his income, or the man that figured out a way to work less, make the same amount of income, and be home and present with his family? I remember the moment a couple years before that where I was working a ton of hours, right? Just building, trying to get there as fast as I could. And I remember this moment where I finally came to my wife, Rachel, and I said, hold on, I don't know why I've never asked you this before, but babe, if it takes me longer to build what I'm trying to build, but I get to be home more often, is that what you want? Or do you want me to go full speed ahead and build that? She said, I want you to be home more often. And I thought to myself, why am I not asking these questions? Business isn't us thing, not a me thing. So husband, if you're out there hustling your butt off, but you haven't had a conversation with your wife, if that's what she wants, Mom, if you're out there hustling your butt up and you haven't had a conversation with your husband who's going to say, I didn't realize you're going to be gone this much. We need to have these kinds of conversations. Even if you're a young solo agent and you're single or you're dating and you're in this position where like, well, it's just me, I might as well go out and hustle. You still need people around you to say, please hold me accountable. Unbridled ambition can still lead you into very bad, dangerous places. We need to keep scoring a different way. As believers, we got to keep score a different way, because the most important relationship in your life is with the Lord. And then it's with your spouse if you're married, and then it's with your kids, right? If you're a grandparent, it's the Lord, it's your spouse, it's your kids, it's your grandkids, right? Lots of things come into play there. Maybe you're a pastor and you're selling homes on the side. It's the Lord, it's your spouse, it's your kids, it's the church. Then it's the work that you do in real estate. You've got to keep scoring a different way. When I stopped just measuring how many deals, how much money, what was my GCI, what was my profit, those are good things to measure. When I said, you know what, I'm going to keep score a different way. I've got a profit goal, sure I do, but I've got a wife goal, 2-day dates a month. I've got a family goal, take every 7th week off. I now had a new way to define what actually mattered to me. Someone invited me to come speak at this really cool event. What would have been a really cool event? Checked off the profit box. I still could have my dates, but guess what? It fell on the 7th week off. The answer was, guys, I really appreciate you. The answer is no. I had a new way to keep score. You have to define what you actually want. Yes, we recognize the industry's definition of success is broken, but if we don't replace that definition, we fall back into that definition. Let's replace it. Finally, build a better system. I'm going to give you some practical tools for you to take back control. Number 1, I want you to time block and protect thinking time. I want you to take 30 minutes a week. That's it. Just 30 minutes. Put it somewhere in your calendar just to stop, pause, think, and reflect. How am I doing? Am I in pursuit of what my mission is? Or am I in pursuit of a different person's mission? Right? We fall very easily prey to looking at our neighbor and thinking, I should probably be doing that too. If they're selling 100 homes, I guess I should. If they're selling 10, I guess I should. If they're going to that conference, I guess I should. 30 minutes a week, just stop, pause. Lord, am I on mission? Am I living out the mission with my business that you've called me to? That's hard. Y'all, it's hard for me to pause. Pause, block that time, pay attention, think, ask the Lord, am I on the mission you want me to be? Your mission is not the same as your neighbor. Your mission is not the same as your broker. Your mission is not the same as your team leader, not the same as your agent, not the same as anyone else. You have your own mission. Lord, am I on mission? Pay attention to those things. Reset when you need to reset. All right. Number 2, how do we build a better system? What are the practical tools to take back control? Delegate or automate repeatable tasks. So, okay, you continue to do this transaction work. Maybe you could go hire someone for $400 a deal and buy back all of that time, right? Maybe you continually have to create different social media posts and it takes you forever to come up with the concepts. Maybe you work with ChatGPT. It helps you think through it. There's another conversation there, but maybe it helps you think through it. Maybe you're out showing houses all day, every day. That's why you're always gone on Saturday. You never come to the soccer game. You're even late to church on Sundays. You know what? Maybe you need to go find a showing assistant, someone who can open doors for you. Delegate some of those tasks. If you're going to protect your life, if you're going to make sure that real estate is not running your life, but you are in control of where your feet want to be and are going to be on any given day, you got to build a better system. Time block. Think about it. Am I on mission? Number 2, delegate or automate repeatable tasks. And finally, set boundaries with clients. You can't serve well being on call 24/7. When I was early on in my career, I remember how scary it was to sit down with my clients. And this is what I do. In my meeting, I'd say, here's my hours. I'm available 8 to 7, Monday through Friday, Saturday by appointment. I'm off on Sundays. Now, the only reason I'm going to engage on Sundays is if we're actively negotiating and you all are going to miss out on something because I'm not working, I'm going to show up and help you. Otherwise, that's the day for my family. That's the day for the Lord, right? And then I'd say, and Wednesdays is date night. After 5, you're not going to get a hold of me. Now, they thought, wow, 8 to 7, that's long hours. I wasn't working the whole time. I might have been available, right? But at 7 o'clock, my phone shut off. I'll get to it the next day. 5 o'clock on Wednesdays, date night. I can't tell you how scared I was at the beginning, but no one ever had a problem with it. And then I'd get voice messages on Wednesday night, someone saying, Garrett, I know it's date night. Please don't call me back, but let me know in the morning when you get a chance. I'd love to connect. The reality is, I know the industry tells us we got to be open 24/7. When I started implementing that rule, it wasn't my client that had a problem. It was another agent. I got a voicemail from an agent on a Sunday that I listened to Monday morning. This guy legitimately cussing me out because he said, you have to be available when we need you. This is real estate. Work 24/7, blah, blah, blah. So I remember calling him back and he said, hey, we got the termite moisture inspection back. I needed to get it to you. I'm thinking, bro, this was not immediate. This was not urgent. So much so that I should pull off my Sabbath away from my family just for you to tell me that? You don't get to dictate what my life looks like. The Lord does. My family does, right? You don't have to be available 24/7. I'll give you one more example. I was competing on a listing with a discount broker. This discount broker, very well known in our market, a good agent, right? I'm competing on this listing. Well, I go to the listing appointment and the next day I have broken into my schedule what I called Garrett time at the time. This was probably 2017, called Garrett time. And I was going to the pool for 2 hours, shutting on my phone, just getting there, relaxing, right? Trying to take a break. Actually sounds amazing right now. I should do that again. Trying to take a break. Well, I come back. I have multiple missed calls from this potential seller. And one of them is a voicemail. The voicemail says, Garrett, if you're not the agent that's going to answer right when I call, then you're not the agent for me. Call me back. So I call this gentleman back and he's telling me, how can you not answer? You got to answer if you're going to build a business, blah, 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 blah. And I said, listen, I'm not going to say his name. And I said, listen, sir, I totally respect what you're saying, but I just need you to know that I prioritize making sure that I take care of my family, take care of myself, and take care of my people. I can't do all of it at once. I've got to be really intentional with my time. If you're looking for an agent who is available to you 24/7, I respect that. Please do not hire me because that's not me. We hung up. Next day he calls me and says, Garrett, I want to go with you. Keep in mind, I said I'm not going to be available to him whenever he wants me, and I was charging more. He still chose me. I said, why, sir, did you choose me? He said, Garrett, because I actually realize you really do protect and you prioritize what matters, and I appreciate that about you. Will you come help me? So we got that. We sold the home, right? You got to set boundaries with clients. They will respect that. But if you don't respect yourself, they won't respect you. If you don't respect your family enough to say, guys, 6 o'clock, I'm at dinner time, 6 to 7, I'm going to have my phone off. But after that, if there's something urgent, text me and I'll take a look at it. If you don't set the boundary, they're going to take advantage of you. Set the boundary. So what are the 3 practical, actionable steps? Number 1, block off time to think. 30 minutes. Am I on mission? Where did I go off mission? How do I protect it next week? Number 2, delegate or automate repeatable tasks. And finally, set boundaries with clients. Systems create freedom. They're not restriction. They create freedom for you. Put these things in, pay attention, stop to think, protect your time, protect your family's time, put the phone away. Ultimately, you can build a business that works for your life, not a business the other way around, where your life is supposed to support your business. No, 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 no. Your business is supposed to support your life. In the hierarchy of attention, my friends, it's the Lord, it's your spouse, it's your kids, and then it's your work. That is the right order. So I encourage you, go grab my free ebook, the Faithful Agent ebook. I know I've mentioned it here, but go to faithfulagent.com. It's going to take you right to my ebook. It's going to help you as you focus on how do you build a business that is more glorifying and honoring to the Lord and is more effective. 10 chapters, short and easy. Each one is going to have an actionable step. Go grab that. It's right here below in the show notes. So if you're watching on YouTube, it's right here in the comment section. And if you feel like your business and your life is not where you want them to be and you need more help than that, I hope you'll go to 210collective.com, 210collective.com, grab a time on there to schedule a call with me. I'd love to hear what's going on, how I can support you, and maybe the 210 Collective might be a way to support you as well. For now, go to faithfulagent.com, grab that free ebook. It's going to make a difference in your life. I hope, faithful agents, that as you think through these things, as you pray through these things, you'll figure out a way. How do I stop letting real estate run my life? How do I stop submitting to the Lord? How do I start submitting to the Lord, identifying the problem that I want the success that the world offers? Step 2, reframing what success looks like from a biblical lens. And finally, use better tools and systems to actually go achieve that life. I love you, faithful agents. I want nothing more or nothing less for you. I don't even know how to say that phrase. You know what I mean. What I want for you is that this business will be a blessing to you. It'll be a blessing to those around you. It won't take from our lives and those around us. It'll give to our lives and those around us. And ultimately, it'll give to the King. I love you, faithful agents. I pray this was a blessing to you. I will see you next week.